Okay. Live and okay. Hey everybody. Welcome to Behind the Scenes with Jen. I'm Jen Geresi, Chief Operating Officer of Advanced Research Media, online
Mhm.
COO for Muscular Development. And as you can see, we have an amazing special guest. He is one of the greatest Olympians ever to grace the stage, a great Arnold Classic champion. Welcome to Behind the Scenes with Jen. I'm Jen Geresi, and Chief Operating the host of the MD Levrone Report. Online COO please welcome to our show the one and only, the Maryland Muscle Machine, Mr. Kevin Levrone. Hi, Kevin. Is
Thank
one
you,
of the
Jenny.
greatest
Thank you
Olympians
so
ever to
much.
grace the stage.
That was a nice introduction.
Well, thank you. It's from the heart.
Yeah, you always shoot from the heart, and I appreciate it. So tell me, what's going on with the show? What do we got going on here?
Well, we've got a live Q&A right now from our chat who have 1,000,001 questions for you.
Oh, really?
So let's kick it off with the chat. I know you're pressed for time, so we're going to go right
Yeah,
to
we,
our
we do
Q&A.
have a half an hour,
Okay,
only because I got to go coach football.
okay.
My son plays football for Calvert Hall, and
Excellent.
yeah, I'm like helping him out, strength conditioning over there for the football team. So that's awesome. You know.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's wonderful to hear. Go team.
Got to get you for some games over here, maybe, if you can break away from all the work you're doing over at Muscular Development.
That sounds
You
fantastic.
know,
Thank you so much, Kevin. And
yeah,
I just want to tell you that the MD Levrone report has been a breakout hit for the channel. People absolutely love it. They respond to it well. You've had some incredible guests, ranging
mm,
from the former Mr. Olympias to bodybuilding legends like Lou Ferrigno. And even
yeah,
you've stepped outside of the box with the fantastic Hodge twins,
yes,
and you've had giants of industry like Steve Cardillo. Can you tell
yes.
can you tell us or give us a little hint about what we may expect coming up on the Levrone report?
Well, we have an amazing guest coming up. A lot of more good stuff coming. But I'm gonna go back to the golden ages. That's a little hint of the golden ages of bodybuilding, where I want to go with this, and then we're gonna talk to one of the whales in our industry when it comes to the nutritional space of energy drinks. So that's a hint of who's going to be on the show next. Just from entrepreneurs to former Mr. Olympias, retired, you know, uh, power hitters. We're talking about like Hall of Famers to
Kevin, are you still with us? Uh-oh, we seem to have had some technical difficulties. Like I said, guys, should I create that emoji? Say it with me. Live TV, you gotta love it. Okay, so it looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties on Kevin's end, and we should be reconnecting fairly soon. Kevin, are you still with us? Kevin, can you hear me? Yeah, you're breaking up just a little bit. It's okay. Okay, so we're just going to wait for Kevin to reconnect. In the meantime, I'm just going to look through your Q&A. I see that we've got a nice chat going here. And when Kevin comes back, we're going to go ahead and talk about some of your questions. Yeah, I see that. Thank you, Andelis. He should be back up in a little bit. It is reconnecting now. We are sorry for the delay. Okay, so we're just waiting for Kevin to come back. And in the meantime, I'm just going to put the splash screen up and we will be right back. Thank you for your patience. Here we go. And now. Thanks for staying with us, everybody. We're sorry about that little mishap we had.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's live TV. You gotta love it, right?
Yeah, like I was saying, we got some interesting guests coming on, some heavy influencers. So,
Excellent.
but I want to thank you, Jen, for for putting all this together. Really, it wouldn't go so smoothly if you weren't doing everything for us. And Ron is an amazing host, guest, and it's good working with him. And of course, Steve Blackman and the fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Kevin. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that. And I know Ron does and Steve does as well. And it truly is an honor every week to help produce your show and make it the best it can possibly be. So for
Thank
me,
you.
it's not even like work. It's more like a hobby. It's
And
like
you're good. You're good at this. You have a great voice for this too.
well, thank you very much. I do have
Yeah.
some broadcasting experience.
I can tell, man. Wow.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. And I know our fans are anxious to talk to you, so let's get to some of their questions. Okay, so the first question I'm going to go to is from one of our MD channel members, and his name is Norval Harris. And Norval asks, Kevin was such a competitor during his time, and the comeback speaks for itself. He may have taken some internal flack, but he does not realize how many people respected him even more because of it. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin? Did I lose you again? Uh-oh. Kevin? Can you hear me okay? Okay, Okay, looks like we lost Kevin again. All right, so we're just going to wait for him to connect. In the meantime, I'm just going to put up the splash screen again, but I will be here to answer any questions that you guys have. Yeah, we're sorry, SMG. It's the internet feed. It's not working out as well as we would like. Um, but when Kevin comes back, we are going to answer more of your questions, and we will be hopefully getting him back in another minute or so. So while we're waiting for Kevin, does anyone have any questions for me about what's coming up next on MD? Okay. SMG, you said you had a question earlier? What was your question? Thank you, Natalia, and it's great to see you here as well. Just 1 second, guys. I will be right back. SMG, that is a great question to ask. Okay, so SMCG. Yes, you wanted to know what got me into bodybuilding. The answer is I have been actually watching bodybuilding since I was 9 years old. My father is who encouraged me to like it. My father used to watch it. He watched Arnold Schwarzenegger and Frank Zane and Serge Nubret and Lou Ferrigno, just to name a few offhand. And he was a huge fan of The Incredible Hulk. And I was a daddy's girl, so I did very much what my dad liked me to do, which is usually watch TV with him and watch what he was watching on TV at the time. So I watched bodybuilding at the age of 9 one day when it was on ABC's Wide World of Sports. And that is what interests me ever since. Endless. That is a really nice question to ask. Give me a minute, guys. I'll be right with you. Okay, we are back with Kevin Levrone.
I'm sorry. I think it's my smart car that's shutting everything down, Jen. It's ridiculous. It's technology, right?
I think we can call it a smart-ass car at this point.
Yeah. Retardedness. Let's get to the questions. So I apologize to everyone.
No problem. No problem. Okay, so our first question, we're going to take it directly from the chat here. Let's see what we got here. All right. First question is going to come from, let me just go here and pick on who we're going to go to first. All right. Okay, Kevin, this comes from Andalus Gaming. If you could do one back exercise, which one would you do?
It would be pull-ups.
Good answer.
Because pull-ups is the one back exercise that you can do, okay, to hit every single muscle in your back. Pull-ups. Yes.
Good answer. Excellent answer. Thank you. All right, our next question comes from Lake for Giants. Kevin, my arms...
I thought you were going to say Lake Virginia or something. That was pretty close. I was like, whoa.
That's a good one, too. All right. Okay, here we go. Lake for Giants. Make sure my accent isn't translating something else here. Kevin, my arms and legs are lagging behind the rest of my upper body. Would training them twice a week instead of once a week be a good idea?
Oh my God, you're not going to get big legs if you train them once a week. Come on now. You have to train legs 3 days a week if you want big legs. 3 days a week. I recommend squats is the best exercise that you can do for legs because, again, it hits all the muscles in the quads, you know? Squats. Do squats 3 days a week. I really recommend, like, if you do squats, you want to do, like, maybe, like, 4 sets of 15 reps. Yeah. With a weight that, you know, you're not overloading your spine with, but a weight that on the fourth exercise, you know, you're like pretty much you're feeling it, you know, so you do want to push yourself. So squats. Yes.
Great answer. Okay, so this is from one of our really great chat members. His name is SMCG. Kevin, what do you think is tougher? Is tougher, diet or building muscle? And do you think almost everyone has a hard time maintaining the right hormone levels?
That's like a tricky question. What do I think it's tougher, diet or gaining muscle? Well, if your diet's not intact, you're not going to be able to gain muscle. And I always tell, you know, the kids, you gotta know the workload that you're putting on your body, and you have to support it with the proper nutrition. So you really want to find out how many calories you're burning because you need to, right, fuel the body up with enough calories to support that workload. So that's a mathematical equation depending on your weight, you know, your height, your age, and depending on the workload that you're putting on your body weekly or daily or whatever is going to determine where you need to have your caloric intake adjusted. So people just think, well, I can go to the gym and do 16 sets per body part, but, you know, they might not be taking in enough calories, right, to support that workload. So for instance, when I was in the gym and I was training twice a day, I mean, my body weight was 240, or say if I start off at 227, right, I want to go up.
Right.
At my max intake level, I was doing 4,800 calories per day, but that was with my caloric intake being 400 and some milligrams of pure protein and assisted with probably about 430 some grams of carbohydrates to support that workload. But I'm talking about, you know, fish, rice, and broccoli. In order to eat 4,800 calories a day, I was eating every 2 hours, 6 meals a day. So I had my calories adjusted exactly where I needed to be to gain that muscle because I knew how much I was breaking down, how many hours I was spending in the gym. So it's a mathematical process, and that's where it comes into fine detailing what it is that you want to do with your body. Now, I was trying to be a bodybuilder, you know, but depending on what you want to do, what your gains are, what you want to look like is depending on how you train, and you adjust your nutrition to support that workload. So not everybody's training for Mr. Olympia. So, you got to really figure out what it is that you want, and then you got to support that workload with the proper nutrition and rest so that you can recover. When you go in the gym and you break down, you train, it's going to take a body 48 hours to recover, So these are the things that I knew about my body. So I was able to do a lot of freaky things, which was on another level. And then the other part of the question was, what was it, Jen?
The other part of that question was, do you think almost everyone has a hard time maintaining the right hormone levels?
Okay, that right there. Again, hormone levels, everybody's hormone levels are different depending on your age. Okay. For instance, my son, he's 15. I need to worry about it maintaining hormone levels because he's 15.
Right.
If you're in your 20s, 21 to 27, your body, your testosterone levels as a man is going to be maybe 900 or maybe possibly higher, maybe in the thousands, 1,000, 1,200 or something. It starts falling off in your late 20s, 29, 30, man's testosterone level starts dropping. Going in around about 35, 36, 37, 40s, this is where you get into that point where, you do need to get your blood work done. Again, there's 3 different body types, so a body is going to drop off sooner, some people later, so to maintain those proper testosterone levels, you have to know where you are right now, and to take the guessing out of it. If you're going into your middle age 40s, I mean, today's my birthday, right? But I know like where my levels are. I know where my test levels are. So on an average, if a guy's not supplementing with natural hormones or just supplementing whatever, around 35, your levels might be about 500. Around about 40, 50, or 60, 40 years old, 50 years old, you might be running 200 naturally, which that level is being below 400 is unhealthy state. And I say that because as a man, you might look good, but you'll feel a little sluggish. But the problem with low testosterone is, I don't mean to keep going on and on, but
it's okay.
You see men all the time. They look great, right? They're ripped and everything. But when men have low testosterone, your arteries of your veins and your walls, they start getting thin. Okay.
Right.
And then also, which triggers a high cholesterol, and sometimes when your body senses that the testosterone is low, like your blood pressure will go up, other things will elevate to make up for that difference. So always go and get your blood work checked. I get my blood work checked 3 times a year, about every 3 months, and then I make my adjustments accordingly. So the average man running, healthy, he probably wants to be about 500 and to 900. That's a safe range, but the doctor would say probably about a 500 range, would be really, really safe. So it's something very crucial for a mid-age guy to get those levels checked. I do highly recommend that you do go out and get your blood levels checked so you can make the adjustments. Not saying you're going to live longer, but you will have a better quality of life when you start balancing those things out.
Great answer. Now, we have another question coming in from the chat. Our chat is just loaded with questions today, which is great. And this comes from John Godoy. And he says, can Mr. Levrone tell us what a quad workout looks like?
It all depends what you want your quad. Were you talking about my quad workout or his quad workout? So everybody, again,
General, I
you
think.
know, yeah, I mean, I could sit here and talk. I would like to know what it is that he does for a living, what it is that, he wants to accomplish in the gym. I mean, you can go in the gym and do, 16 sets per body part, so typical leg workout. I mean, you don't have to squat, I mean, you can do lunges. Um, you can run hills for legs, right? You can do leg press, you can do leg extensions, you can do leg curls, lying leg curls, or you can go through a complete leg workout and not use any weights at all. Just use your body weight. So depending on what it is that you want to accomplish, that's how you make those adjustments in your workouts. For a typical bodybuilder, like for me, I mean, I would start off, with warm my legs up with the leg extensions. I would warm up doing that with lightweight. Then I would actually start counting my sets on squats. I would do about 4 to 6 sets of squats. Rep range anywhere from 6 to 15 reps, sometimes 20 reps, depending on how I feel. Then I would go to leg press. Again, 4 sets there, 15 to 20 reps each set. After that, leg extensions. No, after that, half squats. Same thing. 4 sets, anywhere from 6 reps to 15 reps, depending on if I was loading heavy or I want to do high reps that day. And then I would finish them off with leg extensions. Whenever I would go to, plate loaded machines, Jen, I would always do high reps. On a plate loaded machine, which mean a cables, right? Not free weights, but cables. I would always do high reps. I would just do like anywhere from 12 to 15 reps, so that would be my approach for legs.
Wow, that's a great answer, Kevin. Thank you so much for that. Okay, now this question is about your competition days. This comes
Yes.
from XP Gamer. And he says, who is the most conditioned guy you ever competed against in the 90s?
The most conditioned guy that I've ever competed against was Andreas Munzer.
Wow,
Guys, if you don't know who he was, you can Google Andreas Munzer.
I have heard of him.
Andreas Munzer, yeah, was definitely shredded to the bone. It looked like he absolutely had no fat on his body at all. He was by far the most ripped bodybuilder that ever um, competed as an IFBB pro. Andreas Munzer, and also very, very, he's a good guy as well.
Excellent. Good answer on that one. Okay,
Do
so
you know Andreas Munzer, Jen?
I have heard of Andreas Munzer.
Yeah.
Yes, I have heard of him.
Yes.
I don't remember him that well, but I know
Yeah.
Giles was talking about him on Global not too long ago,
Yeah.
and he
Andreas
brought him
Munzer.
up.
That's what I know.
Yes,
Yes.
and
He's
he showed
ripped.
footage of him competing against you in the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah. At the Arnold Classic.
Yeah, that was some pretty great footage there. You,
Thank you.
you're very welcome. Okay, so we have another question coming up, which is, oh, this is a request for an upcoming MD Levrone Report episode.
Oh, nice. What is it? Who do you
Paul,
want to see?
Mr. Paul Dillette.
Hey, I mean, I like Paul. I competed with Paul, doing the whole, most of the 90 era. I mean, we would do a lot of European tours. I think Paul Dillette um, is would be a great guest, so we can exercise that. I mean, if my co-host Ron is cool with that and, it's okay, whatever, then we can reach out to Paul and see if it fits, right, Jen?
Yes, definitely. We'll try to make that happen.
You know, the MD Levrone report. It's about just influencing, everyone. Like whether you're a bodybuilder or just someone in the fitness, and just the outreach. The outreach is what it's all about. I never thought that I would end up being a professional bodybuilder. I mean, I love music and I like football and I like so many other things. And it's funny how most of the top athletes that are basketball players or football players, you ask them, was this your dream to be this? They're like, well, you kind of like stumble over it, yeah. So, I just stumbled over bodybuilding, and it came very, very easy for me. But I think, again, going back to having guests like Paul, who now is a promoter and doing his thing, and from Canada. I mean, it's just, it's collective of having insight from all perspective athletes across the globe, whether you're a business guy, whether you're a doctor or a lawyer. We all have to be in shape. We all need to think clear. And I'm going to tell you, Jen, nutrition is the center of everything, of all of our success, whether you're a doctor, lawyer, bodybuilder, policeman, or whatever. You can't function unless mind, body, and your spirit is intact. And it all starts with what you put in your body, right? You are what you eat. That's the truest thing. Because if I was sitting here and I was being an alcoholic, drinking fifth of gin every single day, I'd be what I'm putting in my body, right?
True.
So, I would love to have guests on from many.
Uh-oh.
Jen, you there?
I'm here. I hear you.
Hold on.
It's okay.
My son, Gabriel. Jen?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all right.
My son tried to call me. So, that would be great. I would like to, exercise having, many guests on a show from different parts of walks of life. So, yeah.
Well, you definitely have. I mean, one of my favorite shows on the MD Levrone Report, and actually this is my favorite show, is the Uncrowned Mr. Olympias. With yourself, you had Chris the Real Deal Cormier, Sugar Sean Ray, and the great Flex Wheeler.
Yeah. Thank you. That was awesome.
You're very welcome. And that show wasn't just about bodybuilding. It was about the chemistry you had together as competitors, the camaraderie.
Yeah, that was good.
It was fantastic.
Yeah,
great job on that one.
Jen, I got to take a few more questions, then I got to wrap it up because I think my son is calling me for this football stuff.
Not a problem. We'll take a couple more questions, and then we will let you go. Okay, so next question is, Kevin, will you be coming to the Sean Ray Classic in Hawaii in November?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, great. And this comes from, again, Lake for Giants. How often would you recommend someone to train arms if it is a weak part?
I would probably say if it's a weak part, 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, definitely. You want to do the one exercise that you can do for arms is standing barbell curls. That hits all three of the heads of the biceps. So that's the main bulk bicep exercise you can do.
Excellent answer. Okay, and Kevin, what's your favorite food to go to after a show? What was your favorite food to go to after a show?
I like sushi. I still eat sushi right now. But I like sushi. I'm not much of a junk food eater. I don't like cakes and sweets and stuff like that. I like sushi. Lasagna probably. After the show, I do like lasagna. That's about it.
Okay, and that question came from PK in our chat. Okay, and the next question is Jose Alvisio.
Yeah.
And he knows, hello, weird question for you. I know some people experience body aches when weather changes. How do you ever deal with weather affecting your workouts?
No, I don't worry about weather affecting workouts. I just try to train through it, really. I mean, you have to listen, but you do have to listen to your body and be smart. Your body always try to tell you, what it needs. But for me, it all depends where my mind is, if I'm training for Mr. Olympia or whatever. But I always just try to push through it. But just listen to your body and train smart. But muscle aches can come from it could come from dehydration. It could come from the type of foods that you're eating, can cause inflammation in the joints. So you might want to just look at your diet, your nutrition. You can adjust that and take away a lot of the inflammation in your body, and it will probably help you out. For instance, pineapples is, you can eat a lot, implement pineapples in your nutrition, and it takes the inflammation down. Pasta causes inflammation. Yeah, so you can make adjustments in your nutritional program for arthritis.
Great answer. Well, Kevin, I know you're pressed for time. Thank you so much for coming on to Behind the Scenes today. We had a great
Thank you,
time.
Jen.
I had a great time. It's always a pleasure to work with you every day, and
Thank you.
you're very welcome. And everyone, thank you for joining us for today's show. Thank you to our moderators, IFBB Pro, Natalia Coelho, and Daibhi Baudain. And once again, special thanks to our really amazing guest, the IFBB Pro Hall of Famer, Maryland Muscle Machine, Mr. Kevin Levrone.
Thank you, Jen. Thanks, guys.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.